Welcome back to Great Life Arena. Final game here of the weekend, game number 6, the bronze medal game between the Calgary Rush and your Rocky Mountain Warriors. Crowd is firing up here for this final game of the weekend. Warriors looking to get a win here in this final game. That would put them at 2-3-1 on the weekend if they could scratch out a win here in this afternoon game. Bronze medal game between the Calgary Rush, who dropped their semifinal this morning, or I guess a little bit ago, against the PEP Prospects. We played at 8:15, they played at 10:15. On the ice for your first shift, Curtin and Phillips were on defense. Howick, Clark, and Wald got the start. Line change for your Warriors. Onto the ice comes Bayshore and Osler. Rabotham will take the face-off. Moss and Russell are your wingers. Russell behind his own net, bringing it up the right side. He'll cut back to center. Poke check from behind. He skates through it. Up through center ice. Russell trying to get free. Backhand shot. Blocked by the goalie, goes wide into the corner. Here come the Rush, the other direction. Bayshore back checking his Osler as well. Shot saved by Rusniak. Loose puck comes right down to the corner post, and Rusniak saves that one as well. 2 quick saves by Rusniak. Chip pass to Russell at the blue line. We got a little penalty here, looks like a rough. Thought they called a rough. Let's see here. Referee had his arms straight out. Maybe not. It is a rough. 99 goes to the box. Roughing is the call. 13:53 remaining in the period. Warriors in the power play. Walcott will take the face-off. Quick shot right on target. Save. Kicked out into the crease. Chipped up high and gloved down by Welsh. Comes back to the point for Gingrich. Gingrich ships it back down low. Trying to find an open seam here. Passes all the way across to Walcott. Comes back to the point to Fuller. Working down low are the Warriors, trying to get something set up, but they're tied up in the corner. Loose stick. Fuller gets around some traffic, trying to get a shot in the shooting lane there, but it just dribbles into the crease and covered up. Couldn't quite get a good swing at it, or a good shot at it. Somebody was swinging through there with a poke check, kind of knocked it loose. Got it towards the crease, but covered up by the goalie. We get a stoppage in play here with 13:17 remaining in the first period. Common opponents here, the Calgary Rush played the Alberta Pro team, the same one we did, and they also tied them. They played the Knights of Columbus, and they also beat them by 1 or 2, 3 goals maybe. So close wins against a similar opponent, a tie against a similar opponent. So this should be a good matchup here this afternoon in the bronze medal game. Clark skating through traffic up the right side, poke checked away, but he dumps it into the zone. Got the stick knocked out of his hands. He'll retreat back to the point. Phillips will pinch down. Cleared all the way down. They wave off icing, saying it got touched by the Warriors. Rusniak touches it up for Clark. Clark, a little sauce pass up to Phillips, picked up by Howick. Howick scoops it up. Sauce back over to Phillips. Phillips to the neutral zone, trying to find Howick streaking across the blue line, but broken up in the neutral zone. And the Rush will just ice it down there again. And looked like they were maybe behind the line, but must have just got over. No icing. Wald sporting a new helmet, a red helmet. Wald comes through center ice. Wald up the right side. Backhand shot on target, looking for a rebound there because Curtin was right in the slot. Curtin got a stick on it, but he got upended, went into the corner before he could get a real clean shot. The Rush come up the near side, but picked off by Clark. Clark to Wald. Quick pass on the far side to Bayshore. Bayshore pulls up at the face-off dot. Trying to pull it back and maybe get it to the point for Clark, but poke checked away. Here come the rush. Across the blue line into the near side. Forced wide by Clark. Good back check by Curtin, breaks up the play. He'll send it up looking for Russell. Russell gets upended, but skates through a check. Back on his feet. Good interception there by Wald as Wald checks in rush player right into the open door. Russell by himself. Quick shot, glove save. We'll hang on to that one, and we'll get a stoppage in play with 11:26. What a timely check there, delivered right at the Warriors' door. Coach Kurt Wald had the door open and happy to let the rush player come right into the bench. Fortunately, nobody hurt. Always a dangerous possibility with the edge of that door wide open. Everybody is okay, back on their feet. 5-on-5 hockey, power play is over. Russell chasing behind the rush net. They clear the zone, comes back to the neutral zone for Osler. Osler bangs it off the boards, trying to find Moss, just out of his reach though. Chipped up high and over his stick. The rush will dump it in on the near side. Osler chasing behind Rusniak. Up the near side, looking for a touch pass to Moss, but just out of his reach. Quick shot, saved by Rusniak. Botham trying to pull it away. Good poke check there. A couple Warriors in the right spot. Cleared up to the point, but just held in under the blue line by the rush. Bayshore leaves it for Russell. Russell will flip it down the length of the ice, and we'll get an icing. Stoppage in play with 10:44. Still no score in the first period. Onto the ice comes Fuller, Walcott, and Welsh. McCabe and Gingrich on defense. Walcott will take the face-off. Puck controlled by McCabe. He'll send it up the boards, trying to find Welsh. Trying to touch it over to Walcott. Does get it back to Fuller. Those are some of those plays the boys, they know how to execute. That's a breakout play. Just trying to, a little touch pass on the far boards there, but not getting any practice time together. Just trying to find a rhythm, only playing a couple spring tournaments together. Sometimes a little rusty, but for the most part, they played excellent hockey, not being together for any more than a few games. A little shot there from the far side, trickles into the crease. Covered up by the goalie, we'll get a face-off. 10-12 left in the first. Rush try to bring it around the far corner, sliding behind their own net, and bring it up to center ice. Bouncing pass, mishandled at center ice. Poke check by Walcott there, breaks it up, and then he gets checked from a rush player. Rush up the far side through the neutral zone. Skating past a poke check by Walcott. Gingrich is back along with McCabe. Try a drop pass, but Welsh is there to break it up. Fuller trying to chip it ahead to Welsh, but not out. Pass to the high slot, turning around. Good poke check there by Gingrich. Gingrich the other direction across center ice. Trying to get through. Only by himself, though. Line change for a lot of Warriors. Nobody to pass to. Quick shot. Glove save by Rusniak. Comes into the near corner. Loose puck picked up by Walcott. Walcott through center ice. He'll chip it ahead all the way down to the crease. Kicked aside by the rush goalie. They clear it back to center ice where it's scooped up by Phillips. Phillips looking for an outlet. He finds Curtin. Curtin back to center ice trying to get Wald, who is streaking through the neutral zone. Dumped back in by the rush, but they have to retreat as they were offsides. Clark over to Phillips. Phillips off the boards, trying to get it to Wald, who's trying to bang it off the boards around a defender. Offsides as the puck went out and back in. 8:43 left on the clock. Wald wins the face-off forward, trying to jump through the line there, but the Rush pick it up. Centering pass by Rush goes off Wald's skate, comes back to the point. Quick shot saved by Rusniak. Phillips bodies up the man, and Wald takes the puck. Wald trying to find an outlet over to Howick, but Passed it on the left side. Halleck looked over to his right. Halleck forechecking down in the corner. Wald there as well on the far side. Wald comes away with it. Trying to get a quick shot on the post there. Everybody, including the cameraman, thought he was going to try a wraparound, but quick shot in the near post trying to catch the goalie off guard. Good poke check behind the net is Clark. He gets upended. Wald back there as well. Physical play behind the net. Warriors doing a good job to still maintain possession down in the offensive zone, though, trying to come away with it on the near side. Poke checked away. Clark almost had a shot at the near post, but poked away by the rush. 2-on-2 break. They get it over to the left side, but poked away by Phillips. Loose puck picked up by Clark. They'll drop it for Phillips. Phillips off the near boards, trying to get it back to Halleck, but picked up by the rush. Quick shot off target behind the net, comes all the way back and out of the zone. The rush will regroup at center ice. Quick zone entry, poke checked away. And Phillips on the near side, forces him wide again. Drop pass. Robotham hassling here in the corner. Forces it chipped out to center ice. Russell with the stride, trying to get around the traffic on the left side, but poked away just as he was skating down the left side of the neutral zone. Rush operating behind their own net. They'll play it back to the far corner. Moss chasing after him. Russell on the near corner. They'll bring it back to the point. Osler's there to chip it back in. Rush trying to break out, but thwarted by Bayshore as he picked it off in the neutral zone. Tried to fire it back in the Calgary zone, but hit a player, put into the bench. Rush controlled the face-off, trying to chip it in the neutral zone, but it's intercepted by the Warriors. Walcott broke it up, picked up by Fuller. Fuller on the far side. Tried a little hesitation move, but poke checked away. It's kept in at the point by Bayshore, but goes off the skate of a Calgary player.
Good job, Harry.
Warriors lost possession momentarily, but they do clear it out eventually. Bayshore back to pick up the puck. He'll circle behind Rusniak. Rusniak chipping it over, trying to find Welsh for a little tip on the boards. Kept in by Calgary. Good poke check behind the net by Osler, breaks it up. He'll send it around, and it does come out of the zone. Calgary regroups at center ice. D to D pass. Quick zone entry, but underneath the stick of the intended player for an icing. Face off all the way at the other end. 5.5 minutes left in period number 1. Still no score. The boys played in this tournament last year. I don't recall if they were in the Tier 1 or Tier 2 bracket, but they did make it to the championship game last year, losing in the final last year on Sunday. This year playing in the bronze medal game, and they are playing in Tier 1, and certainly shows with some of the opponents we've played, some AAA level talent they're facing, certainly in the LA Oil and the PEP prospects. Halleck in the far corner, trying to maintain possession. He'll leave it there for McCabe. McCabe chips it ahead, trying to get it back to Clark. Loose puck in front, goes off the crossbar. Like McCabe hit it off the crossbar. It looked like it redirected. Didn't hear the iron, but it sure looked like hit the iron and went left of the net. Wald back checking along with Gingrich. Good shoulder by Wald to separate the puck. He'll leave it back for McCabe. They'll chip it ahead to Clark. Clark around some traffic, one man to beat, trying to get in front. Just slides wide, loose puck in front. Wald trying to get a crack at it. Good opportunity for Wald, just kind of got forced out of the crease before a good shot. Gingrich leaves it for Wald. Wald trying to toe drag it around one more player. Rusniak was headed to the bench. Cross-check penalty coming on number 13. for the rush. .428 left. Warriors go on the power play. Again, second penalty for the rush so far in the first period. For Botham, Fuller and Russell are your forwards. Curtin and Phillips on defense. Rush controlled the first face-off of the power play, and they'll clear it all the way down. Rushiak leaves it for Fuller. Fuller hits the brakes. Come up the side over to Phillips. Phillips, sauce pass, gets it over some traffic to Rabotham. Quick move back over to Curtin. Curtin dumps it in. Curtin pinching down. Russell rolls back. Curtin in the corner. He'll play it back to the point for Phillips. Phillips fires a shot right into the glove of the Calgary goalie. He'll hang on to it. Line change on the defensive unit. Onto the ice comes Bayshore and Osler. Referee discussing something with the scorekeeper. Might have been a question that Coach Travis asked. Looks like he motioned something back to him for some feedback. Play continues. Rush control the face-off, and they'll ice it all the way down again to Rushiak. He'll leave it for Osler. 1:09 left on the power play for the Warriors. Fuller skates over the puck. Osler sends it right back to Fuller. Russell on the far side. Russell over the blue line. He goes wide, circling behind the net. Looking for a pass. Circling around, plays it back to Fuller. Right back to Russell. Right back to Fuller. Fuller down on the near side. Cross-ice pass for Russell from Osler on the far side. They'll play it back to the point for Fuller. Shot blocked. Loose puck in front. Rebound covered up by the goalie. Good puck movement there, trying to get a clear shooting lane. Fuller lets one rip from the high slot. Saved by the goalie, and the rebound is eventually covered up. 34 seconds left on the power play for the Warriors. Wald will take the face-off. He wins it back, but splits the defense. And Clark will retreat and pick it up. Clark over to McCabe. McCabe will circle around in the zone. Looking for Gingrich. Gingrich trying to do a little give and go back to McCabe. He sends it in deep to the far corner. McCabe beats his man to the puck. Gingrich has it now, trying to wrap around the net. Loose puck picked up by Wald. Wald tries to dig it out on the right side, but it squirts away. McCabe with a good stick, though, plays it back to Walcott. Walcott in front, looking for Wald. Loose puck in front, rebound, Gingrich on the back door, just got it poke-checked away. A couple good opportunities there. Wald with the backhand. Saved by the goalie, and it went right over to Gingrich on the back post, but timely poke check by the Rush. Players were offside. They had to circle back out of the zone. Rush on the far side, nobody home, picked up by Phillips. Phillips plays it up to Gingrich, streaking through the center. Good poke check as the Calgary Rush player gets back just in time to poke it away, but he slides into his own net. Wald on the far side, plays it back around, trying to find Clark. Clark will chip it back down, backhands it deeper in the zone, but eventually cleared out by the Rush. Phillips is back along with Clark. The Rush play it right back into Phillips. Penalty is over, back to full strength. They chip it back to center ice, good poke check by Phillips. Walcott for checking down there along with Welsh and Fuller. Puck is dumped in by the Rush. Chasing after it is Curtin. Curtin bangs it back around the boards, trying to find Welsh. He'll play it back behind the referee. Gets nice pick set by the referee, but Phillips steps around it, trying to play it up the near boards. Howick there in support as well. Fuller happy to dig that out while four players are in a scrum. He'll play it over to Welsh. Welsh plays it back on the far side for him, over to Howick. Trying to get it poked ahead to Fuller, but broken up by the Rush at center ice. Fuller trying to toe drag it back to himself, but scooped up by the rush. They circle back on their own zone. Good forecheck by Howick, forcing an errant pass. Eventually picked up and dumped in on the right side. Rushniak will leave it for Curtin. Curtin gets there at the same time as a rush player. Fuller is back there along with Phillips. They play it up right into the slot. Good pass, good shot. And they beat Rushniak on the blocker side. 16 seconds left in the period. Just as Curtin was getting back to the puck, a whole bunch of players converged back there. Puck picked up by Osler. He'll send it in. Just about 10 seconds remaining here. 4 seconds left. Behind their own net, the Rusher operating, trying to play it up the side. And that'll do it for period number 1. The Rush get a late goal right at the end of the second period, about 15, or first period I should say. About 15, 16 seconds left, and the great one-timer after the pass from behind the net. That's your only goal so far in the first period. Rush on top 1-0 as we head into the second. Last couple pep talks here in this final spring tournament for the Warriors. Been a fun spring so far. A lot of success for these boys and just a great fun, lighthearted spring schedule here after a long grind of the regular season for most of these boys. Starts around August and goes into March. So this is a fun way to wrap up all that hockey and head into summer. Probably just some camps and maybe a tournament or so for a few more kids, but for the most part, heading into golf season, baseball season, a few camps to keep them on their edges for a little bit. Tryouts for some have already happened. For others later in the summer, but some kids are out of school as well, and I heard that a few of them have a couple more days left. Even a test tomorrow, I heard, for maybe Welsh has a test tomorrow, so that's unfortunate. That's a tough way to come off of a long weekend of hockey, but summer's almost here. Philly's mom back home, happy to be out of school. She's a teacher along with the rest of them. Happy it was over last week, but it was still a little bit long. We had to go past Memorial Day due to some snow days, but nevertheless, anxious to get summer started. Second period about to get underway here, waiting for the time clock. Referee with his hands on his hip, not happy about the delay without getting the 15 minutes set up. Now we're underway. Face-off trickles into the Calgary zone. Russell chasing after it. Calgary pulls up, play it up the far boards. Loose puck kept in. Osler trying to get a shot, gets through the last poke check, but loses the puck. It kind of drifts off of his stick about the time he was going to pull the trigger. Russell back at the point. They'll play it back to Moss. Moss gets upended, trying to get it to Russell. Russell digs it around. A couple of poke checks. Trying to get free for a shot. Russell's shot. Far down. Scores. Russell with the quick snipe. Bar down goal. Referee hesitated for a moment. No doubt about it, though. Russell evens the score at 1-1 here with just the first half a minute into the second period. Quick strike by the Warriors, and we are tied now in this bronze medal game. 1-1, early second period. Oh, they're going to wave it off. They're going to say it went bar down and out and not in. Referee thought about it, hesitated for a while, then called a goal. Short of instant replay, I'm not sure what they did to change their mind. Yeah, hard to say what they looked at and decided to change their mind.
That video proof?
Looking. Yeah, it's hard to say. It went straight down. Didn't get the consultation in time, so they take the goal off the board. Referee came back here. Had a little fun with it, pointed up to me, looking like I was going to give him a replay, but sure he would not have taken my opinion. Clark around the traffic. Tried to kick it back to himself. Good strong move by Clark, skating through that poke check. But broken up. Good stick by Clark to keep it alive. Goes right on the wall, trying to roof it, but just a tough angle there. Fuller gets tied up on the near side. The cable flip it back down. Icing, but everybody touches up, they wave it off. Good pressure here by the Warriors after the no goal call. Keeping the tempo up. Another rush by Clark on the right side, trying to get through one player. Broken up though, tried to drop the puck and skate around it, but he got bodied up. This puck comes back to the point. Clark gets there just in time, trying to play it back to Wald. He'll dump it in. Bit of a line change for some of the Warriors. Clark off the ice. Wald by himself. Waiting for support. Here comes Howick after the line change. They'll bang it off the glass. It comes back to Phillips. Phillips will send it in. Rush will chip it over. Loose puck right in front. Shot! Score! You know, and I never took the goal off the board, so sorry about that confusion. I was still zoomed in, trying to look at the replay. I took my eye off the scoreboard. So it really was 1-0 for another couple minutes there. And then after the goal, now it is actually 1-1. So I'll leave that score there. Loose puck picked up and dumped in. Rusniak will touch it up. He sends it around the far side, but kept in by the Rush. Trying to get a centering pass, broken up by Phillips. Welsh is there to pick up the puck. They'll chip it ahead to Curtin, just out of the reach though, trying to find Walcott as he was streaking out of the zone. Rush regroup. Drop pass just inside the blue line. Shot saved by Rusniak. He'll hang on to that one. And we'll get a face-off in the Warrior zone. And that last sequence, just to clarify one more time, it was 1-1 momentarily after the near goal by Russell off the bar. I was trying to peek at the replay on my iPad, and I failed to take that score off of our side on the scoreboard. So it should have been 1-0 for a couple more minutes, but then I believe it was Howick who evened things up a couple minutes later, and now we are actually 1-1. A little over 12 minutes remaining in the second period. The Rush play it back to the point, and they'll dump it in. Warriors trying to play it out. Goes over to Moss momentarily. Broken up though. Bayshore trying to get it out. Poked back in by Calgary. Bayshore chips it ahead. Bouncing puck. Almost found Russell streaking behind the defense. Shot goes wide. Rush pick it up in the high slot. Turns, fires, shot. 2 saves in a row by Rusniak. Unbelievable. First save was point blank, and the second one was even closer. Rosie with 2 incredible saves, sprawled out, got the right leg. You could hear the pad. Get a big thud on it after that rebound. Somehow he keeps it out of the net on the rebound as well. Outstanding goaltending there by Rusniak to keep this game tied 1-1 with 11.5 minutes left to go in period number 2. Wald takes the face-off, wins it momentarily. Poke checked away by the Rush. They'll dump it in deep. McCabe is back. McCabe will send it around, trying to get it over to Fuller. Fuller in the far side. Trying to chip it ahead to Wald. Clark and Fuller are there. Gets poke checked away, but Gingrich comes away with it. Gingrich up to Clark. Clark quickly back to Wald. Wald trying to skate around one more player. Plays the puck over there, but gets bodied up. Good defensive play there to tie up Wald as he tried to skate around the defender. The Rush up the right side, through center ice. McCabe is back along with Gingrich. Good play by McCabe to break it up. Warriors come the other direction. Pass goes off the backside of Wald. Chipped back into the zone by the Rush. Clark chasing after it. Fuller and Clark. Clark digs it out. He's got Wald in front. Quick shot. Blocker save. It flutters and lands on top of the net. Saved by the goalie. Fluttered up in the air and just a couple inches shorter on that fall, and it would have fallen into the net. As it was, it fell on top of the net, just past the crossbar. And we get a stoppage in play. Howick and Welsh on the wings. Walcott will take the face-off. Rush win the face-off. They'll send it around. Up the near boards. Trying to break it out. They'll flip it all the way down, just inside the red line. No icing. Comes back for Rusniak. He'll touch it up for Curtin. Kept in at the point. Shot on target. Saved by Rusniak. He'll glove it down and leave it for Curtin. Curtin steps around a poke check. Sends it back the other direction. Trying to find Welsh, I believe, who chips it over on the near side, but it's kept in at the point. Rush try to center it. Nobody home. Curtin and Phillips collide in the crease, but back on their feet. Loose puck kicked out, shot, just couldn't get it cleared. It was in the high slot right there, and the Rush pick it up and lift it over the shoulder of Rusniak for their second goal of the game. Broken stick on the far side, not sure who that was from. Looks like it might be a Calgary player. Warriors just couldn't get that cleared out. Loose puck went through the crease a couple times. On the last occasion, it was just sitting there, and a Rush player jumped into the slot and just lifted it over. So the Warriors got to climb out of another deficit here. 9:40 remaining. Russell wins the face-off. He'll circle back. Picks up the loose puck. Quick snapshot, and he scores! Russell quickly evens the score. Seconds after the goal against the Warriors. Warriors win the face-off. Russell takes a couple circles around the blue line. Steps in once everybody's on side. Quick wrist shot, beats the goalie over the right shoulder, of the goalie's left shoulder, I should say, on the right side of the net. And we are back even at 2-2. Good matchup, just about probably how it looked on paper. Teams have beat common opponents, they've tied common opponents, and it looked like a pretty evenly matched game coming into this bronze medal contest. Wall taking the face-off. Clark and Fuller out there on the wings. The Rush pick it up and flip it all the way down the ice, but they wave it off. The far side referee says someone touched it, but it was definitely not in the position. It didn't look like it touched anybody on this side. The near side referee was not waving it off. Wald picks up the loose puck, trying to play it back to his left side, but poke checked away. Fuller back checking. Picked off by McCabe, who sends it back to center ice. And the Rush will send it right back to McCabe. It's tripped all the way down into the Rush zone. One player back for Calgary. Outlet pass to the far right side. Up through the neutral zone comes Calgary. They'll push it up into the zone. Over the blue line, they do get a shot off. Gets through all the defensive traffic of the Warriors, but Rusniak sends it aside. Clark up the right side. One man to get around. A good poke check there. Breaks up that Rush. Fuller in the corner along with Wald trying to dig it out. Fuller plays it back to Wald, but wasn't anticipating that. Squirts up there behind him and behind the Rush net. They'll poke it ahead. They get behind Gingrich. One man back is Osler. Osler with the great stick. Goes to his belly. Great defensive play by Osler. I think that was Osler. No, maybe that was McCabe, actually. Sorry about that. Quick shot! Scored! Gingrich, from his belly, gets back up and fires the puck in the back of the net. Just under 8 minutes remaining, and Gingrich puts the Warriors on top. Spun around, took the shot, and then fell to his belly, it looks like, after the replay. Good spin move by Gingrich to maintain his balance right there. Got a good shot, went right in the inside of the right post. Warriors have their first lead in a long time after a tough day against a couple tough opponents yesterday, and one of the same ones again this morning. So good to see them on top. Let's see what they can do with a boost of confidence here. And nearly a 4-2 game with the bar down shot that went out. So a lot of good offensive pressure here by the Warriors in this 1 o'clock tilt for the bronze medal. Good play by Welsh with a great stick check, pulls it back to himself, stays on side and dumps it in. Walcott pursuing on the near side along with Howick. Rush will chip it up and out. Curtin is back along with Phillips is back checking. Good stick check by Curtin, breaks up the play. Phillips retreats to pick up the puck in his own zone. He'll circle behind Rusniak, trying to set something up. Spins, trying to evade some traffic. He gets tied up behind his net. He'll backhand it around to the near side. Warriors trying to break it out, but it's picked off. Forced wide by Curtin. They'll bring it back to the point, but poke checked away by Phillips. It ends up on the stick of Howick, who'll clear it out. Comes all the way down for an icing with 6:39 remaining. Line change for the Warriors. Onto the ice comes Osler and Bayshore. Moss, Verbotham, and Russell are your forwards. Rush win it back to the point. Shot goes wide past Rusniak into the far corner. Moss pursuing along with Osler. Rush trying to skate it back. Good poke check there by Russell, breaks it up. Bayshore in the corner ties up his man. Moss battling in the corner as well, but Calgary plays it back to the right point. Trying to get into the face-off circle, but a good stick there, broken up by Moss, I believe it was. Moss along with Robotham. Bayshore picks it up. He'll skate it out of his own zone into the neutral zone. Flips it ahead, trying to find Osler, but just out of his reach. It's picked up by Calgary. Little drop pass for Calgary, operating behind their red line. They'll play it to the other defenseman on the far side. Long outlet pass. Bayshore is back, along with Osler. Quick shot, glove save, Rusniak. Got a lot of heat on that shot, trying to step around a poke check, and still got a pretty good wrist shot away, but Rusey with the glove save. And we'll get a face-off here. Just under 6 minutes left, period number 2. McCabe battling in the corner, it looks like. Wald is there. Clark digs it out. He'll play it over to Fuller on the far side. Fuller across the blue line. Pulls up, trying to wait for some support. Centering pass, looking for Clark. Loose puck, banged off his stick. Just couldn't get a shot away. Poke checked away, but good pressure by Wald. Plays it back, looking for a one-timer with Clark. Just couldn't get the stick down. Good puck movement by the Warriors there. Wald trying to find Clark. Just couldn't connect on the one-timer. Fuller on the far side breaks it up, chips it over to Wald. Wald trying to get it out of the zone, but kept in momentarily by Calgary. They play it back for a centering pass, but it's broken up. Wald chips it ahead, trying to find Clark. Calgary breaks it up. Sorry about that. Breaks it up, sends it back to the neutral zone, but a long outlet pass to Fuller. Fuller just inside the blue line. Wrist shot, save. Comes right back to him. Calgary is right there to break it up and send it back to center ice. Skate around a poke check by Phillips. Curtin is back as well. Quick snapshot. Glove save by Rusniak. 4.5 minutes left. 3-2 Warriors face off in the Warrior zone. A little bit of a glare coming in the boards now. I hope that's still a little bit visible. It's skylights down in the center here. You kind of see the skylights. Makes for nice lighting in the arena, but it makes it tough to video off the reflective glass here. Rush, bring it behind Rusniak, trying to find a shooting lane or an open look. They'll circle all the way back just under the blue line. Drop pass to the right D. Quickly over to the left D, but errant pass. Lost the handle. They'll send it in deep. It bangs off the back behind Rusniak. Loose puck from Phillips, chipped over back to Curtin. Warriors trying to clear it out. Do get it back to center ice. Rush pass is picked off by Welsh. Welsh to Phillips, who chips it ahead. Looking for Walcott, but just out of his reach. Comes back to center ice, and here comes Calgary, but they overskate it. A couple turnovers here for each team in the neutral zone. Calgary will just dump it in. Phillips chasing after it. Walcott behind the net. Puck might have got up on top of the netting. A couple players overskated from each side. Loose puck picked up by Welsh. Welsh trying to skate it out. Through some traffic, he gets over to Howick. Howick chips it ahead, trying to just dump it in and head back to the bench. Walsh digs it out in the corner. Welsh was trying to get a pass over to Walcott, but was broken up. Calgary trying to get something going, but it's picked off by Russell. Russell around some traffic through center ice. Russell takes it wide. Gets the puck poked away behind the net, but he's still harassing the Calgary player, who will play it back all the way over on the far side. Moss is there along with Osler. Osler will backhand it back down for Russell. Russell is circling around, trying to get it back to the point. He gets upended. He'll play it out. Bayshore is back. Calgary up the left side. Robotham back checking. Osler is set up shop. It's right in the slot as well. Shot blocked by Osler. Good shot blocked there by Osler. Calgary maintains possession though. Comes back to the right point. Shot goes off of Russell's shin guard. Bayshore is back there. Poke checked away, trying to break it up. Calgary kept it in at the blue line momentarily though. Chipped out by Osler. He's chasing after it, but Calgary breaks it up at center ice. Russell poke checks it away, evades some traffic, heading up the far side through center ice. Skates through a couple stick checks. Osler with Robotham and Moss. Russell trying to skate through the last defender. It's poke checked away. Calgary clears, but it's picked up by Osler at center ice. Osler and Russell there trying to get it back to their defenseman. They play it back to Gingrich. Slides it ahead, trying to find Robotham, but just out of his reach. We're down to about 90 seconds or so in period number 2. Warriors with a 1-goal advantage here, 3-2. Warriors will dump it all the way down. Calgary chasing after it. Circling just short of their own goal. They play it over the left side, back through center ice. Good poke check there by Wald, breaks it up. McCabe in the far corner. Ties up his man. Wald is there trying to poke check it away, but a little scrum it looks like in the corner. Puck squirts out behind the net, picked up by Gingrich. Gingrich over to Fuller, but Fuller gets tied up in the far boards. Gingrich battling as well. He'll skate through some traffic. Just lost the puck. Kind of got through the poke check there, didn't realize it, turned around and had the puck poked away the second attempt. Good hit by McCabe here in the near glass. Calgary comes away with the puck though on the far side, but poke checked away by Gingrich. Got a delayed penalty here as Calgary goalie heads to the bench. I'm not sure if they'll get that hit on McCabe. I didn't see that referee in the far corner and when his arm went up, but Warriors just need to touch this up. And they score, so the delayed penalty, extra attacker on the ice. 7 seconds remaining in the period. And Calgary ties it up 3-3 here. Much like they ended the first period with a goal. They sneak one in at the end of the second. So we are tied with 7 seconds remaining. And with the delayed penalty, they'll let the play continue. So no penalty after that. Five-on-five hockey, no penalty, but the score is tied now. Scoreboard operator hasn't put it up yet, but it is 3-3. Just enough time for a face-off win and a shot if anybody can maintain possession. 2 seconds left and offsides, just as Wald was ready to pull the trigger. They're just going to run it. The referee's asking them just to run it. My clock had expired. The arena clock had 0.9 on it. The referee just said go ahead and run it. So we will head into the third period in this evenly matched game, tied 3-3. And as it was in the morning semifinal, they're going to go ahead and do a Zamboni resurfacing here. So I'll go on mute when you hear the music or the arena noise come back, then we'll be about ready to go for the third period. But we'll have about a 15-minute break here while they resurface the ice. And we'll see you back here in just a little bit. Welcome back for the third period here, tied 3-3. Got a barn burner here in this bronze medal match. 1 20-minute period remaining. One period left to settle this one. Barring any overtime, I guess. We've seen that in spring hockey. I shouldn't speak too soon, but we'll see what happens in the final frame here. Osler behind the net. Bayshore there as well. They poke it away, though. Osler comes away with it. A little centering pass attempt by Calgary. Thwarted by the Warriors. Osler over to Bayshore. Bayshore chips it ahead off the stick of a Calgary player as he was trying to dump it in. Nice to have fresh ice here for this final period. Howick on the ice as well, along with Walcott. And trying to get the pick there. I think that's Welsh. Chipped in by Osler, back far down in the far corner. Walcott battling. Poke checked away, though. Comes back to Welsh. Welsh will dump it in. Line change for the Warriors. Onto the ice comes Gingrich and McCabe. Forward line. Russell comes right out of the bench. Shot, save, close range. Good opportunity there for Russell. Comes right off the bench. Loose puck was just sitting in the high slot. Russell took a crack at it, but goalie came out. Played a good angle, reduced the shooting area there for Russell, and he made the save. A little over a minute burned off in this third period. Warriors chipping around the net, trying to find Moss on the far side. Moss and Rabotham battling. Poked away by Calgary, though. McCabe back along with Russell. McCabe will force his man outside. They just get around Rusniak. Backhand roof shot. McCabe took the player wide, and the streaking forward on the other side just got past Russell on the right side. Pass came into the slot. The backhand shot went over Rusniak's shoulder. Pretty good backhand shot, tough to defend. And that puts Calgary up quickly in the third period, up 4-3. Calgary controls the face-off. Russell poke checks it away, sends it behind the net. Phillips and Curtin back behind the Warriors' net. Comes over to Phillips, trying to poke it ahead, but picked up by Calgary. Backhand shot, and they beat Rusniak over the shoulder again with another backhand. Warriors couldn't get it cleared out. Two quick backhand goals by the Warriors. Looking at the replay here, this puck scored it into the high slot, and the Warriors trying to clear it out. Calgary player picked it up. Another quick backhand. Another quick goal. Warriors had a lead for a while. Several ties, several lead changes here, but now they find themselves down by 2 goals. Let's see how they respond. Clark, Wald, and Fuller on the ice for your forward line. Osler and Bayshore, your defensemen. They'll play it up through center ice, but nobody home. It goes all the way to the length of the ice. We'll get a icing call, brings it back down to the Warrior zone. 17:48 remaining in the third. Still plenty of time. Find some life here and get a little pep back on the step. The boys came out strong in the first period. Had a lot of energy. Very evenly matched opponent here. Calgary wins the face-off. They play it back to the point, but it's kept in. Now it's chipped out. Back to center ice. Fuller pursuing along with Clark on the left side. Walled at center. They try to play it out, but it's poke checked away by Fuller. Comes back to the stick of Clark. Clark circling around. Trying to play it all the way across, looking for Bayshore. Loose puck picked up by Fuller. Trying to get it back in front to Wald. Shot saved by the goalie. Wald right in front. Loose puck comes all the way back to Osler. Shot, save, and they bring it in. I think that was Clark. Just what they needed, a quick response after that. 2 quick goals by Calgary, and the Warriors answer. They close it down to 1. 5-4 now the score in the third period. Hard to tell on the far end there, but I think that was Clark who had the goal. Certainly the first one with his hands up as he's streaking past the net. Calgary circling behind Rusniak, forced wide. Gingrich chasing after him, drop pass back into the near corner. Trying to get a centering pass, goes off the skate of Gingrich. Loose puck comes back to the near post, but a good poke check by Gingrich breaks it up. He'll play it off the glass, trying to find Welsh. Welsh chips it ahead, looking for Gingrich, but just out of his reach. Howitt chasing after it as well. Walcott with a poke check. McCabe is back. McCabe will force his man wide. Centering pass comes over to Howick. Howick tries to backhand it up for Welsh. Splits the defense, goes all the way back into the neutral zone. Outlet pass up the far side, returned by McCabe. Howick just under the red line, trying to bang it in and get a line change. He'll head to the bench. Calgary quickly up the right side. Centering pass, pulled back out. Good check there by Welsh. Separates the puck, comes over to Gingrich. Gingrich looking for an outlet pass. Sauce through the middle, trying to get it up maybe to Walcott. He heads to the bench for a line change. McCabe sauces it up, trying to get it to Walcott, but it's gloved down by the Calgary. Fortunate stumble there by Calgary as they were just right behind the defense, trying to get a shot, but no shot. Russell trying to skate through a check. Poked away though as the Calgary player went down. Loose puck shot towards Rusniak. Wasn't really on target, but a wise idea to glove it down before it trickled into the crease. Phillips and Curtin on the ice. Russell, Moss, and Rabatham. Face-off controlled by Calgary. They play it back to the point. Russell trying to poke check it away. Warriors almost had a couple lunges at it that could have created a rush there, but Calgary maintains possession. They'll play it back to the point. Shot. Tipped, goes just wide. Rebound off the side of the cage, and Phillips clears it out. Comes right back to Phillips. He chips it up again, but kept in. Calgary trying to play it behind the net. Curtin ties up his man. Moss is there, but it's chipped back in by Calgary. Calgary picks up the loose puck, trying to wrap around. They'll go all the way around. Russell and Phillips on the far side. Centering pass. Curtin had his stick down, but it goes through the crease. Or through the slot, I should say. Kept back in by Calgary. Maintaining possession here for quite a while. Puck turned aside by Phillips, goes back to Curtin after they dump it back in. Warriors trying to get it out of the zone here. Long possession for Calgary. Curtin plays it behind the net. Russell on the far side. Russell trying to skate through a couple checks, loses the puck. Kicked ahead by a Calgary player. He'll come back for his stick. Dump in pass, broken up by Phillips, comes back to Russell. Moss kicks it ahead. They'll head back to the line for a line change. Russell forechecking along with Rabatham. Kicked back out though by Calgary, and the Warriors will regroup. Bayshore, fresh off the bench, circles in front of Rusniak, plays it back to Clark. Clark skates around a couple poke checks up the right side into the neutral zone. He's got Wald streaking with him down center ice. Clark over the blue line, puck squirts all the way into the crease, and the goalie will cover that up. Just under 14 minutes left in the third period. Warriors still down one, trying to claw back from those two quick goals that started the third period. Wald will take the face-off. Plays it back down low, trying to find Fuller. Fuller and Clark battling below the net. Calgary trying to clear it out, though. Two quick passes into the neutral zone, but a good back check by Clark. He picks it off. Backhand pass, trying to find Bayshore on the near side. Wald ends up touching it back to Bayshore. A couple poke checks by Calgary, and it launches into the netting on the far side, just above the Warrior bench. Get a stoppage in play. Wald to take the face off. Clark and Fuller Gingrich and McCabe on defense. Referees doing their best to keep the players out of the dot until it's time, and they slide right back in. Having a lot of fun with this. In unison, they both slide in at the same time. That was pretty funny. Clark up the boards trying to find Fuller, just out of his reach, but it does clear the zone. Calgary flips it right back in, turned aside in the slot by McCabe. He'll fire it around the corner, trying to find Fuller. Too hot, comes back to the point. A tip right in front, kicked aside, saved by Rusniak, and McCabe will clear it out.
Rusey, good work, bud!
Comes all the way back to center ice. Calgary regrouping. Walled with a good forecheck pressure, along with Fuller. Fuller will chase them behind their own net. Forces a pass up to center ice. They'll bang it off the boards, and it comes back to McCabe. McCabe trying to sauce it off the boards, goes behind the players on the bench. We'll get another stoppage in play. Faceoff should be in the Warrior zone after the clear that goes out of bounds. Curtin and Phillips on the defensive unit. Walcott will take the face-off. Halleck and Welsh on the wings. Loose puck slides into the crease. Not a real hard shot, but a good save by Rusniak there. One of those dangerous pucks just gets through the traffic. Had 5-hole written all over it. Rusniak covers it up. Curtin will leave the ice. Might have got his hand hacked. Banged up a little bit. He heads back to the bench. Just kind of grabbing his hand, so Bayshore on the ice for Curtin. Warriors control the face-off. Walcott will flip it off the glass behind Rusniak, trying to get it around to Welsh, but Calgary is there. Calgary scoops it up, plays it back down low. Bayshore in the corner. Good hit on his man. Taps it ahead for Walcott. Walcott behind Rusniak. Up the right side. He's got Welsh streaking with him on the left side. Walcott inside the blue line. Quick shot. Glove save. No rebound. Good rush there, and Welsh on the left side looking for any sort of rebound, but the goalie hung on to it. Warriors win the face-off, comes back to the point. Quick shot by Osler, doesn't get through the defensive traffic. Quick outlet pass by Calgary. Across the blue line. They get around Bayshore. Quick shot, and they score. Quick strike again by Calgary. Quick rush. They split the defense and get a quick snipe in the top left corner there. Top left corner, I should say. That stretches the score back to a 2-goal lead. 6-4 now, just under 12 minutes remaining. A lot of hockey left, definitely not out of it. Botham and Russell on the ice along with Moss. Gingrich and McCabe on defense. Let's see if they can answer just like they did last time. Gingrich circling behind his own net. Poke checked away by Calgary. Russell is there as well. Chip the other direction. Gingrich back to Russell. Russell, cross-ice pass off the boards looking for Moss. Chipped ahead by Rabotham over to Moss, but just poked away by Calgary. Below their own red line. Rabotham turns and fires it after the intercepted pass just underneath the blue line, keeping the play alive in the zone. Calgary, quick outlet pass. Breakout through center ice, up the right side. Gingrich bodies up his man, disrupts the play, and the loose puck comes back to Moss. Moss over to Russell. Russell up the far side. Trying to do a little hesitation move and plays it over to Gingrich. He'll dump it in, and Gingrich will head back to the bench. Calgary regrouping behind their own net. Botham chasing along with Moss on each side of the net. Russell there as well. Russell skates to a check, trying to pick up the puck. Centering pass, or maybe trying to get it back to the point. It was poked away by Calgary nonetheless. Calgary up through center ice. Curtin is back. Good to see him back on the ice. Whatever might have happened to his hand or arm, looks like he's okay. Good poke check there by Curtin as they were trying a D-to-D pass. Curtin broke it up. Calgary operating below their red line. Good hit by Curtin on the far end. Phillips is back with Fuller. Curtin chasing behind the net. Calgary trying to regroup below their own red line. Pass intercepted by Fuller momentarily. Poked away though. Calgary regains possession. Oh, I'm having trouble with the words right now. The Rush play it back behind their own net again. Good job by Warriors to maintain this possession. Wald comes away with a quick shot, tough angle, goes behind the net. He'll come all the way back to center ice for Phillips. He'll flip it ahead, trying to get it to Clark. Intercepted by Calgary. Calgary forced wide. Clark and Phillips on the near boards. They both body up the man. Loose puck comes back to Calgary just below the red line. Shot blocked. I think Curry got a skate on it. A little action after the whistle. They'll send him off the ice, but no penalty. A little extra shove there from 89 onto Phillips. Shot, a little floater, just floated all the way into the crease, but a good stick save by Rusniak. Shot on target, would have been on target, but broken up by Osler. Osler ahead to Howick. Howick's got Welsh streaking. He plays it right onto the stick of Welsh. Welsh trying to get around one more man, broken up though, as he was streaking towards the crease. Howick trying to play it back to the point, comes all the way to center ice for Osler. Osler up through the right side. Poke checked away, though, at center ice. Calgary regains possession in their own zone. Trying to set something up. They'll play it behind their own net to the other defenseman. Breakout up the near side, but broken up, picked up by Howick. Howick circling around, fires a shot. Hits a defenseman in front, loose puck in front. Walcott trying to chip it in, and he gets it in. I believe that was Walcott. Walcott right in front, had a couple cracks at it. Might have been a save, and then a rebound. Hard to see in the glare there, sorry about that. I could see Walcott in the high slot, took a few cracks at it. The second one went in. Warriors have closed the gap again, back to 1 goal. Still a lot of time left here. 8:15 was the time of that goal. See what the scorekeeper's having a discussion here with the referee. It's all good, they say. Now we're ready. Botham takes the face off. Moss and Russell are your wingers. Calgary chips it in. Rusniak touches it up for Gingrich. Gingrich up the far side, trying to get it to Russell, but just out of his reach. Comes back to the point, shot. Calgary trying to get a tip on there, but it goes wide. McCabe chasing after it in the far corner. Botham jumps a pass. Bounces past his stick, though, and Calgary trying to get a centering pass, goes all the way through the slot, all the way back out of the zone. Russell pursuing along with Moss. Calgary dumps it right back in, below the red line. Gingrich chasing after it. Good evasive move, hits the brakes, trying to play it up the boards to Moss, goes off a referee, kind of an unlucky bounce. Moss trying to play it around the referee and a Calgary player. Bangs off the side of the net. 2 Warriors back there trying to tie up a player. Loose puck right in front, and they score. A couple unfortunate bounces off the referee 2 or 3 times, trying to clear it, trying to play around the referee as well. Calgary eventually frees up the puck. Quick centering pass and a quick one-timer. It gets behind Rusniak on the left side. stretches it back to a 2-goal lead, 7-5 now, Calgary. A lot of goals here in this third period. Quick strikes back and forth. Warriors trying to answer again. Just over 7 minutes remaining in this third period. Rusniak touches it up for Phillips. They'll play it around to Rabotham, trying to find Russell on the far side. Poked away by Calgary. Centering pass, good stick there by Curtin as he broke up another one-timer attempt. Calgary playing it back down low. Phillips in the battle on the far corner. Calgary gets loose, trying to get a centering pass, but off the skate of Curtin. Another centering pass kicked aside by Phillips, got right into the crease, but Phillips cleared it out. Clark chasing after it on the near boards, but Calgary dumps it back in. Curtin trying to disrupt it, but Calgary with the pass right in front. Rusniak stopped it and slid out of the crease. Glove down after the shot. Phillips gloves it down, flips it back, trying to get it out of the zone. Gets it to Rabotham and Wald over there, but tied up by the rush. Calgary rush will dump it back in. Curtin goes after the puck. Phillips was headed towards the crease. Loose puck picked up by Calgary. They run through the crease, tangled up with Clark. Curtin with a hit in the corner. Clark battling in the near corner here, along with Curtin. 3 Calgary players, along with Curtin and Clark. Loose puck comes back, slides up the near boards. They play it back to the right point. Trying to find a shooting lane. They'll pinch down into the corner, but a good poke check there by Clark. It comes over to Wald. Wald up the left side, trying to get around some traffic. Absorbs a big check, upends the Calgary player. He'll head back to the bench. Fuller chasing it the far corner. Loose puck behind the Calgary net. We'll try to break it out. The pass is jumped by Osler. Osler chips it down deep. Moss and Fuller down there as well. Another good keep by Osler, trying to get it to Russell. We got a stoppage in play here with just over 5 minutes remaining. Looks like may have been offsides, possibly. I don't see a hand in the air, but puck might have danced over the blue line and back in. Hard to see from this angle, but no, I'm not sure what it was. Maybe a hand pass or something, because the face-off is now down in the Calgary zone. Face-off controlled by the Warriors, but it just slips out behind the blue line. Bayshore chasing back. He'll leave it for Moss. Moss flips it over, trying to get it over to Fuller. Knocked down momentarily by Calgary, though, but a good back check by Fuller picks it up. They play it out of the zone. Russell pursuing along with Moss. Might have been a high stick. They let it go. Bayshore chips it back to center ice. Loose puck. Picked up by Fuller momentarily. We'll get a trip. Fuller was trying to head back towards center ice. Yep. It was subtle. He tried to sneak it in there, but I saw the replay there, the blade of the stick. He tripped up Fuller's right leg. Tripping call against Calgary. Warriors on the man advantage, down 2 goals. See if they can close the gap here. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Calgary sweeps it down the end of the ice, touched up by Rusniak. He'll hold it for Fuller. Fuller trying to find Moss, goes off the boards, a little out of his reach, and sent right back in by Calgary. 5-on-4 here for another minute 35. Unless the Warriors score. Russell up the blue line, poke checked away. Gingrich pursuing on the far side. Calgary picks up the puck, circling behind Rusniak. Big hit by Russell, separates the puck, and Gingrich digs it out. Gingrich up the left side. Across center ice, he'll dump it in just inside the red line, no icing. We go under 4 minutes remaining and about 1:10 on the power play. Flipped out by Calgary. Touched up by Rusniak and picked up by Howick. Howick sauce pass trying to find Russell. Comes off the boards, picked up by Russell. We'll circle around some traffic. Back in his own zone underneath the blue line. Couple spin moves through center ice. Around a defender, trying to toe drag the last defender. Gets poke checked away. Clearing attempt right on target. Rusniak saves it again for Howick. 30 seconds remaining in the power play for the Warriors. Howick long sauce trying to get it out of the zone, but gloved down at the blue line. Poke checked away though and kicked right back to Gingrich. 20 seconds in the power play. Gingrich and Walcott over the blue line. Gingrich pulls the trigger, loose puck, fanned on it, but it was sitting there momentarily. Walcott tried to take a crack at it. Loose puck kicks over to the far side. Walcott chasing after it. Howick back on the point as the puck squirts back into the neutral zone. He'll play it over to Phillips. Phillips takes a quick glance at the scoreboard, realizes the penalty is over. Back to full strength. He'll chip it in. Howick will chase after it. Howick over to Welsh, just under his stick though, comes all the way back to the point, and Calgary flips it in. Phillips trying to poke it behind the net. Ties up his man. Gingrich is back there as well. Gingrich will dig it out. Gingrich skates behind Rusniak, looking for an outlet pass. He'll sauce it over to Howick. Howick knocks it down just below a high stick. Sent right back in to the Warriors zone. Phillips plays it around, looking for Gingrich. We'll keep an eye on the Warriors net as we approach the 2-minute mark. See if they want to go with an empty net. Stoppage in plays and may have got up into the netting. I didn't quite see what happened there. Rusniak heads to the bench. We'll go 6-on-5 on the face-off. Extra attacker on the ice. Rabatham, Wald, Fuller, Curtin, Phillips. One more. Can't quite see who's on the left wing there. It looks like Clark. Clark is down there as well in the corner with Wald. They're trying to dig it out. Clark in front, looking for a centering pass. Poke checked away. It comes back to the point for Curtin. Curtin keeps the play alive below the blue line. Walks the line, looking for a pass. Plays it back down low. Circling behind the net. Scooped up by Clark momentarily. He gets cross-checked. I think there'll be a penalty here. Looks like might be a cross-check on a Calgary player. We'll go 6-on-5. About 90 seconds left in the game. Barring 2 quick strikes by the Warriors to tie it up. About 90 seconds left. Osler and Phillips are your defensemen. Empty net for the Warriors. They win it back to the point. Comes back to Clark. Clark walks the line, looking for a shooting lane. Shot blocked. Empty net. Clark back checking along with Phillips. Calgary trying to get there and fires shot into the empty net. They pop the water bottle, and with 1:19 remaining, Calgary tacks on another one to go up 8-5. Rusniak will head back to the net. go 5-on-5 here for the last shift. Minute 19 remaining. Shorthanded empty net goal for Calgary. Fuller to take the face off. Dumped into the far side. Fuller chasing after along with Russell. Russell circling around. Brings it back to the point for Clark. Play it over to Osler. Osler trying to get it back in the slot, looking for Fuller. Poke checked away into the far corner. Go under a minute remaining. Fuller digs it out. Trying to get it back to the point. He gets it back to Russell. Russell regains possession in the slot. Fires shot. Leg pad save. Goes into the far corner. Bayshore digs it out. One-timer attempt for Fuller, but kicked out by the Calgary defense. Calgary the other direction. Osler is back along with Clark. They'll flip it in behind the net. Just happy to burn some clock. Big check by Clark into the boards. Calgary regains possession. They'll play it back to the point, trying to get a one-timer. Bayshore kicks it out of the zone. Back on his feet, regains possession. Bayshore and Russell up the right side. 20 seconds remaining. He drops it for Russell. Russell back to the point, kept in by Howick. Howick jumps the defensive poke check. Shot on target. Goes a little bit wide after the save. Kick behind the net. 12 seconds remaining. Try to play it back to the point for Howick. He lets one rip. Shot tip. Trying to get Bayshore's stick on it, but just missed it. Bayshore with another shot. Just wide left, and that'll do it. Warriors fall 8-5 after the empty netter. Pretty much a tie game or at the most a 2-goal spread up until the empty netter. Warriors battled hard all tournament. They fall to 1-4-1 for their 6 games here in Calgary. Tough battles. Pretty evenly matched game here for the most part against the Calgary Rush, but the Rush walk away with a bronze medal as the Warriors fall in this 3rd place game. Fun tournament though, and a fun ending to the spring season for these Rocky Mountain Warriors. Some great families and great kids. The last 2 tournaments over the last couple of weeks have been a ton of fun. It's been fun broadcasting, it's been fun being with the families, and it's certainly fun to watch the kids have a blast doing what they love. Final handshake here of the spring season for many of these players. We'll pack up. Some are hitting the road. Some are heading to the airport. I myself, we're staying the night. There's no option to get out of here for us, connecting back to the east to get home at all. So we will grab one more hotel night and out of here bright and early in the morning. There's discussions of another tournament, maybe one more next spring, overseas trip to Sweden. So we'll see if we can get that pulled off. It sounds like it's coming together. So it might be one more dance for the Rocky Mountain Warriors here. Take the crew across the ponds, which would be a ton of fun for all these kids. Lifetime experiences, travel experiences, and certainly a lot of team bonding. So stay tuned for details on that. I'll keep this camera rolling here just to get a few more looks at the boys here while they do the medal ceremony for the 3rd place Calgary Rush. Looks like there's a tournament director on the ice. It's hard to hear, very faint. Just inside the penalty box there, just outside the penalty box, I should say. One more fist bump through the line. Looks like there might be some 4th place medals here for the boys. Thought maybe the bronze medal game meant there were only bronze medals to be passed out, but a little hardware for the boys on their way out of town here, so that's nice to see. Boys walked away with a silver medal last year in the Calgary Stampede, so good to collect a little hardware on the way out this time as well. Good sportsmanship, good to see that at the end of a hard-fought weekend. A couple different handshake lines as we wrap up the final game. Probably done here after this last handshake from the bronze medal presentation for the Calgary team, and the boys will head back to the locker room here, and that'll wrap things up. Might get a picture here. Looks like coach is lining everybody up. Nice to see that. We'll have to grab a copy of that and circulate that for everybody. Coach Travis out there along with goalie dad Jed Rushniak. Get this crew together one final time this spring. Let me get the referees in there on the action. There we go. And that'll wrap things up here in Calgary. Safe travels to everyone going back home. Thanks for joining, for everybody that listened back home, listened and watched. Good to keep in touch with everybody over the summer and into the fall. Well, certainly fun to run into everybody at the rinks in different tournaments, but until next time, which may be next year in Sweden, signing off for now. Warriors drop the bronze medal game 8-5. And that's a wrap here from Calgary. Go Warriors.